Alright, y'all don't breathe on me, okay?
Coronavirus.
I'm getting a lot of droplets coming this way. We're not wearing face masks.
No one's wearing anything.
Well,
we're fucking getting it for sure.
We'll keep it in.
Welcome to season 2 of Smart Stupid Stuff. We've been a little bit on a hiatus. It's because we were remodeling the podcast studio. We put an airplane wing in here.
We got an aluminum foil desk.
Check us out on Instagram to see it detailed. Very expensive, very exclusive. Let's go ahead and get our sponsors out of the way. Don't you think, guys?
Do we still have sponsors?
I think they dropped us. But we're going to say something anyways. Thank you, Alpaca Chicken. All right? If you want some chicken in the Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill area, you know where to go. You get some alpaca, and you put it right in your mouth. You put it right in your mouth, and you just eat it. Mmm.
Delicioso.
Delicioso, baby. Thank you for Nation Homes. If you need remodeling done, I don't care what it is. You need a quote. Let's say that you get a new house, and the inspector gives you a list of shit that you need to do. Like a huge list of shit.
Anybody like that in my life.
Then you do it right away. You send it to Nation Homes. They'll get a quote to you within minutes. 15 minutes. Guarantee your money back. I'm just kidding. Those do not. I just made that up. It's not going to take 15 minutes to get the quote. And last but not least, Blue Betsy Boutique. If you are on eBay, okay, and you want to check out one of the most exclusive and beautiful clothing that you could use, you can have. Let's say you want a scarf to put in your neck or head, whatever it is. You go to bluebetsyboutique.com, and that's where you get it. On that note, roll the music, baby. What's going on, guys? You know, you're going to have to get your energy level. Have you been drinking about
I'll let you know.
Were you serious?
No.
Fuck.
My brother tested positive.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he set up the whole things, man. He set up the mics. He set up everything, man. Yesterday.
Big funny news. Also, we just want to get the fuck out of here.
We got some Rona residue on this new table.
So we're doing this not remote anymore. We're in the same room. You know, and we went from feeling okay, like, oh, it's kind of going down, and then all of a sudden it's like back to normal. Like, people are just flipping out and shit. Like, cases are up. But of course, it doesn't affect us because we think we're okay.
Well, cases are up. People's been dying as much as they died at the first wave, or what?
To be honest with you, I have no fucking idea. I just know that North Carolina is considered a state that New York doesn't want you to come from. If that makes any sense.
Well, there's probably like 40 states on that list. You know.
Do you know what they're basing that information on?
I don't, honestly, I haven't looked into it that much. I think it might be related to like
the percentage of cases or something.
Well, like the trajectory of the cases over a certain period of time. I have no idea, but yeah.
I'm just.
But you traveled to New York, right? I mean, they didn't give a fuck when you went there. So.
I mean, I went to New York right before they said that if you were coming from North Carolina, you had to stay in quarantine for 14 days. And I did for the most part. I mean, I didn't have anywhere to go.
So if you go from North Carolina to
the state of New York,
you have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, so when it first came out, you had to quarantine for 14 days. And if you got anybody sick, you were charged like 10 grand.
That's it?
I think that's it, 10 grand. I don't know, fucking load. And then what they did after that is that they right now they amped it a level, and it says if you're coming from out of state, from any other states, you have to report yourself to the local authorities and quarantine yourself 14 days so you can face a $10,000 fine.
Man, but that would be so hard to blame like a person got sick because of you, man.
I know,
like,
how
that
they
person can be in 100 different places like before he got
Right.
to you, you know. Like,
The thing is, they're trying to use scare tactics, not for you not to think about it twice. I mean, my wife's parents are having second thoughts about coming.
your parents?
Stacy's parents,
Okay.
because we know we're going through the process of like buying this house and whatnot, and she's
So they want to see the new house.
they want to come help and whatnot, and but they're thinking about not because of what's happening. You know?
So let's talk about that. You just bought a house
hmm
in the middle of a global pandemic.
best selling market.
So describe to us the process. Like, what did you have to go through? Because I know you bought a house, 4 years ago. So how did it differ from that time? Was anything different?
Well, first off, before you go into the house, there's different rules and restrictions. One of them is you have to be fully nude in some of these houses. That was a challenge.
For you?
It was first of all a shock because I didn't shave. I hadn't shaved my taint that day.
Well, now you're sporting a mohawk.
I
so-
wasn't having a good taint date, and
So you had the mohawk from your head all the way to your penis.
yeah, I had a penis mohawk. I was sporting a penis taint mohawk, and you know, dude, it was fine. It was a lot easier because my wife now has her license. When we bought the first house, we worked with a realtor. So when you work with a realtor, you know, you're kind of on their time when you want to go see a house. Like, you know, you schedule a time, you know, which is pretty standard. Be like, here's this house I want to go see, and you kind of have to work with them and whatnot. And so it was very nice to just be able to go on a limb.
Mhm.
She goes on the website, she has a MLS access, boom, 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 we schedule a couple of them, and then we just go. So that was easier. Also, the negotiation is not going through the realtor. And it's nerve-wracking, but, you know, we wanted a bigger house, and here we go, man. I hope we can afford it, and I hope it's not too crazy. When the inspection is done, dude, like, so if you guys have bought a house recently or ever in North Carolina, it goes through an inspection. Apparently, this is not in every state. In New York, there is not an inspection that is done.
Well, I'm sure you can get an inspection.
Right. I guess this is more commonly done here. I'm not really sure, but these guys are thorough as fuck, and they scare you a little bit. Because they'll send you 50 pages of things that needs to be done. So at first glance, you kind of like, you know, this is cracked, this is loose, and then you start noticing it's like, you know, the door is loose, the door is sticking, like they just get real like granular and anal, but it's not too bad. And then, you know, then it go like what we got, and we thought it was like, you know, let's say it was gonna be $4,700 worth of damage. The guy offered us $600, so he can go fuck himself. If you're listening,
So wait, so how much did you estimate the damage to be?
well, that was the hardest thing. Nobody wants to fucking give you an estimate. And I learned later is because, you know, like everybody that gets an inspection done, the first thing they do is they send a list of shit to get done. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like, and they don't actually do it. They just want an estimate. So a lot of the contractors would like steer away from that. So I wasn't getting an answer.
Just because they're not getting any business from that?
Right, so it's like a very time-consuming process because now you got to go to this house and spend all fucking day looking at like everything the inspector wrote down, and then
the inspector did got paid like $450 or $500. How much was the inspection?
I think it was around there, like $600 or something like that.
And so the inspector got paid to do the whole inspection. Imagine like the same guy doing the estimate.
Yeah, so
he's gonna spend the same time the inspector probably did.
So like if you reach out to a contractor and you tell them, hey, I just got an inspection done, I want you to give me an estimate, they're just like, fuck it. But we were waiting for this guy to tell us how much he was going to give us because, you know, it's common here for the seller to give some money towards fixing. But the market is so fast that they don't necessarily have to. Because they could just list the house again. Now, realistically, if they list the house again, then they might have to fix that anyway. So who gives a shit, you know? But long story short, we ended up getting some money, and so we're happy, and we're moving in on the 28th. Nice. If anybody wants to help me move, I'm open.
I have a trailer.
Let's do it, baby.
You know, you knew that I'll help you out, man.
I tell you what, man. Like, I don't know where the fuck you would be renting right now. Not you in general. I'm just saying, in not specifically, but like renting is just as expensive as it is to buy a house, if not more.
I don't know. The problem is like right now you're like set. Like you have you know, you got married, you were able to buy your house, you have a steady job. But before you got to that point, you were working as a waiter. It was very hard to get like a good credit. So you didn't have another option but to rent.
No, but get it. Think about this. Rent right now is, even if it is just in your mind, right? Because I never asked. Because think about it.
If you could buy
if
a
I
house.
could have done it, because
Okay.
think about it. Like if you have rent right now in North Carolina, it's not under $1,000. You're paying rent for $1,000+ bucks. It's very hard to get anything under 1,000.
So you lived in a like high-rise apartment complex. So how much was your rent?
It was about $1,000 before. I mean, that's how much rent it is. Rent is right now.
Yeah, and right now it went high. Like right now it's higher than before.
You can get a $200,000 house in a 30-year mortgage with like X amount of, you're gonna be around $1,000 anyways. If you're a first home buyer, you might not have to put anything down. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have to pay anything. You still have to like
Do closing costs.
closing costs and shit like that. So that's like $3,000 or $5,000, depending on how much you get in. But then again, bro, like at least the $1,000 you're paying a month is going towards something.
Yeah, some principle.
Something.
Some
I mean, it's
principle.
going towards your shit,
Yeah.
dude. You're paying somebody else's.
But if you did the math,
But it's,
I don't
it's
know.
hard to come up with because it's a scary thing, you know.
On your house. Let's say you were living there for 3 years. So during those 3 years, the property went up the value at least how much you pay every month,
Right.
right? Because it went up like at least $30,000, or maybe a little bit more. So that's probably how much you spend during those 3 years paying rent. So if you decide, okay, I got to move somewhere else. Okay, the market went up. I'm getting my money back, that I put in here.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you got even. You're like, no, it's kind of like a savings account. It's
Right.
Like you're just putting money there, and it's up to you if you want to sell it or you want to keep it.
If I would have been smart enough to, well, I mean, I couldn't have because I didn't have fucking papers. That was the other thing.
Yeah.
They don't give you a loan if you don't have papers, man.
Yeah, they do, man.
but
They do.
but I did,
You
I
gotta put more.
I never
more
even-
down. Like my friend got one. He didn't have anything. He only had a tax ID number, and he was able to do it. But the only thing they asked him for 10% down. So 10% down out of it,
That's a little
200,000
harder.
or 250. That's like $20,000 you gotta put down.
Fuck.
So they do it, but you just gotta put more money down. But it's hard to find like $20,000 or to get $20,000. Okay, once that I save $20,000, then I can start applying for a house.
Well,
it's
say,
hard to get to that
say you're
process.
the average American and you're working full time when you're like 20, 21, and you go buy a fucking house.
That's the best time to do it. Pretty much.
Then you
Even
rent
though you
because
buy-
you can rent the rooms in the house, bro. Like, say I would have bought a house back in the day, and then just at the time I would rent 2 of the rooms or something like that.
Yeah,
Then somebody's paying my mortgage, bro.
it's true.
I mean, you're having roommates.
Well,
Anyway.
there's people that does it. There's like smart kids out there that doing it.
I know.
But sometimes they have that guy like my parents came from Argentina. The only thing they knew is like, well, as soon as they moved here, they bought a house. So that's the first thing we didn't have a car, but we did have a house. So they were like, because we saw the house in Argentina, and I think the house in Argentina was giving enough like monthly payments to cover this house. So they were like, okay, so we definitely have to buy a house. So it didn't pass like 6 months. My dad bought a house here. So he didn't have any papers. And that was back in 2001.
No, but I remember that before the whole shit went down with the market, you could.
Yeah.
They were giving everybody payment, and then
It was easy.
But then
It
a
was
lot of
easy.
people, like whatever happened with the loans back in the fucking, was it 2003 or 2009? I don't remember. Then it became harder. Dude, I remember like this Hispanic Cooperativa Latina. Like after that shit happened, like all the cars that they had loaned, like they were sitting in the parking lot outside. Dude. It was like the bank, and then all the fucking cars that they have given loans to were like just sitting out there. A lot of people just return their houses, bro, because the payment. I don't really understand. Except the payments went from like you were paying $1,000 to like $3,000 a month.
Yeah, you could have like a flat rate or a rate on the percentage or like on
APR.
the interest, depending on the market. So if something happens with the market, then your house can go up. I think my dad, one of the things he did was like, I just want to have a flat one. He's like, you can have a high one, but it's just always going to be the same. So my dad was like, okay, give me that one that's always going to be the same and it's not going to change because of the market. Yeah. So that was kind of like something smart because some people were like, okay, I'm gonna pay less if I go this way. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna pay $200 less because I gotta go depending on what the market is doing.
Yeah.
But then some people, they were paying $1,000. Then they have to pay $1,800 instead of $1,000. So it went up like so drastically that some people, that's why they lost their house.
They were doing something fucked up where like they were getting you in and getting you approved. Not necessarily where your dad. I think it was after you guys came. It was a few years.
That was back in 2001.
No, the 2001 was like a couple years after when people. I think it was 2005, dude.
No, when shit went down?
Yeah.
No, 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. And everybody was getting that like quick loan. So if you bought in 2001, you really weren't affected. The only thing that were affected then was like your house went down in price.
No, that was depending on the contract that you have signed. Right. Like, what was the deal that you made?
If you wanted to fix or like fluctuate. But anyway,
subprime mortgage.
But everybody got fucked, and all the Cooperativa Latino was full of cars too. I remember like everybody returned that shit. I don't know, man. But I'm saying like, if you made it through there, and then you kept the house all the way to now, then you're fucking making money. Yeah. You did all those years of paying rent and shit like that, and now and all the.
But even though like my parents bought back the house in 2001, it's been 20 years. It's about to be 20 years. The house was $120,000. You know how much they still own in the house? $80,000.
How much is it worth?
Well, it's worth like probably like $250, but still, like imagine paying every year, and they haven't refinanced or they haven't doing none of that. So they've been paying like $1,000 every month, and for the past 20 years, and the mortgage is is the same, and they still own $80,000. So during 20 years, they only pay $40,000 towards the house.
No, but think about it's funny how you think of that, right? But then think about like somebody that's renting for 20 years.
Yeah, no. So the only thing that went to the principal was $40,000. Yeah. But at the end of the years, like the last years, is where most of your money goes straight to the principal. So my dad right now, he just started probably last year, sending money to the principal. That's something he didn't like. Like they don't teach you stuff, so sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, if you would send $500, extra, I don't know, every 3 months, $500 to the principal, during 20 years, that's going to affect the principal. But there was nothing done like that. So right now, killing the principal is like still $80,000 is a high number to hit. But most of the money that they're paying out goes straight to the principal. Because during this past, 10 years left of the contract, most of the money is going to go right to the principal.
Yeah.
Before it used to be like, I don't know, $600 interest, $400 to the principal.
It's always like a slope.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking understand that, but you have to tell them that this is I heard that, I don't know if this is true, but I heard like if your mortgage is $12,000, let's say it's $1,200 a month, if you send $2,000, they just hold the extra $600, or sorry, extra $800.
You tell them.
Yeah, unless they'll hold it for the next one, unless you tell them, hey, this has got to go to the principal. That's how fucked up they are.
Yeah. That's what they
Bro,
do.
there's so much fucked up that happens that is okay to do that there are no laws around. It's bullshit, dude. And like the way that you can sign a contract and it says all this shit and nobody has to tell you. You signed it. Bro, you gave me 30 fucking pages to sign, and then you hold me responsible for the information in those 30 pages that are written in a legal way that I don't necessarily understand. But I'm held responsible like, what do you mean, motherfucker? You signed this, right? You signed this. Yeah, I signed it because I was buying this. I didn't know I was going to fucking sign something that I had to read.
Yeah.
Or they could have been amended. It's just...
That's what you always, like, let's say when you, like, right now you just bought a house, right?
Yeah. And I already signed, like, 20 papers. I don't even know what they say.
Yeah. They send you DocuSign, and they're like, and you just, that's why you get an attorney, I guess, you know, to cover your ass. So... whatever paper you sign is like the house next door I just buy. I was like, the realtor that I used was the same realtor that was posting, the property, because I kind of wanted to like know how much the offers were coming in. I didn't want to like involve another realtor there, just because I want to have like straight contact from the seller to the realtor to me. So it's like, hey, look, I'm using you. You're gonna make more commission if I buy straight from you. Because I'm not using my own realtor. So my realtor is not going to make any money.
You're going to be making my profit. That's the best for the realtor when they buy them.
So I was like, look, man, I really want this house. Just let me know how much offers are coming in and things. I already talked to the lady. She said she's fine. She wants me to buy it. So whatever offer it is, I got to match it, and I'll probably make it better. So yes. So then when I'm on that position, I was like, I want to use my closing attorney, and it's the same attorney I've been using before. So I was like, I want to use this attorney. And when I talked to the attorney, I was like, his name is Kevin. I was like, Kevin, please look through this paperwork because like I'm using the same realtor that is representing the seller and is representing me at the same time. So please go over everything. I want title insurance, and just please make sure that when I sign those papers, the house is going to be totally mine because you're the one representing me. So I signed everything. So he checked all the paperwork, I guess, and I'm like, is there any problem with this house or anything wrong? And he's like, well, I did a title search. I went through the story of the house. Everything is fine. As soon like whatever you sign is going to be your house if you pay this much. So I was like, okay, cool.
Wait, so what could have been wrong? Like, they could have just been like, this is not really your house or something like that in the tournament?
No, they could be like, it could be like she's selling her house and her house is not even under her name.
Well, y'all are going through like all law school for me. But yeah, that's exactly right.
They could but somebody could do that?
Yeah, somebody can be like, yeah, this is my house, and at the end of the day, it's like, well, we did a title search and we did all this, and it's not really, her name is not coming up anywhere.
Right.
So it's like, okay, we cannot have a closing. I was like, okay, that's why you have the closing. Like the attorney checks, it's all those paperwork.
That's crazy that it can get that far before.
Essentially, like she could be living there, she's not the owner,
But I can't believe that it could get that far that you can list the house, get an offer, send paperwork, and then like it just gets to the very end.
She could also have bought the property, supposedly, right? But the title's not a valid title. So she bought it under the auspices that she was buying a legitimate title, but it's not. It actually, there was a break in the chain of title, or there was a wild deed somewhere or something like that, where the person that sold it to her did not have a legal claim to that property, but still sold her the property anyway. Sold in quotation marks. But she has no legal claim to the property because something that happened in the past, broke that chain. So.
Yo, let's go sell somebody else's house and see if we can get it.
No, the other thing is that let's say she got like a loan on the house and she's selling the house, and that loan has like $150,000 loan on that land, and then she sells the property. Then that loan is attached to that property. And then you buy it, and then you have like, I bought this house.
The lien, yeah.
And it has like a lien attached to it, and then they come after you because you're the new owner, and the land has a new loan. So one of the other things you can do, I'm pretty sure your attorney already put it there without asking, to have like a title of insurance. And you're probably going to have a title of insurance on your house. Just in case something like that happens, you'll be covered.
Sure. I hope so.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see how that could happen, but on a subdivision like that, you think that
it can happen anywhere, dude.
Yeah.
That part of the subdivision was owned by somebody else. Oh, that would suck.
Yeah. Let's say the other person got it like completely paid off. He paid it off. He went somewhere. Hey, can you let me borrow like $50,000? I'm like, okay, put your house. Put a lien on your house under my name, and then let you borrow the money. And then he sells the house for $300,000, but this is already a lien. So he left, he got $50,000 from this other person, and then he got $300,000 from your loan.
So as a buyer, what do you lose? You lose whatever.
As a buyer, well, if you don't have the title of insurance, they gotta go after you because the lien is under your property.
They're gonna go after
if there's a lien on the title, or on the property, then of course they're gonna go after you for the money, right? But if there's a break in the chain of title where you are not actually the lawful owner, then you could have bought something that you do not own.
Nice.
So you're gonna be really screwed.
I wonder how often that actually fucking happens.
No, that happens pretty often. Sometimes if you don't pay attention, you're like, if you like get title insurance, how much is that? $300. No, don't get it. And then you can do some stupid movement like that. And you can somebody can come after you so easy. And if you don't have the title insurance, then you're screwed. Then you have to pay that money to them.
Yeah.
Like every single house I bought in Rocky Mount, I was like, "Put title insurance, because I don't know what's going on over there." You know, like it's far away. You're like, "Get me title insurance, whatever." If somebody comes after,
So what is the
because
title
sometimes I
insurance? If that happens, they cover it.
they covered it. Yeah, they cover
They cover whatever is owed.
whatever is sold, or they make it
Whatever you pay for it, typically.
They give that back to you and you're out. You
No,
don't
no,
keep
no,
the property.
no. They deal with whoever is trying to come after you. So you own the property 100% once you have the title insurance. Yeah, the title insurance will protect you for you not to lose your house.
Well, not necessarily. The title insurance won't necessarily give you the property, but they will insure you for the amount that you paid for it.
At least for the one you pay for.
But you don't. So like property is a little different, right? So the real property, the land that you bought, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't replace that because it's unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they can't give you that, but you can insure that land for whatever you paid for it, which is what.
Well, even though let's say like, okay, after 5 years, oh my God, I put a huge house there. I invest $500,000 house there, and I only pay $60,000 for the house.
You're breathing on the mic. Sorry, I can hear you.
So
I can hear you go. Sorry.
So
Could you hear me now?
Sorry.
Sorry, I was like licking the mic.
So if you,
so you know what I'm saying? Like if you bought a $50,000 land and then you build a house, and then after 5 years somebody comes saying like I had a loan there, but now you have $500,000 invested in that property.
You should go to law school at least.
That's what I was like. I would go to my attorneys like, what the fuck have you done, man? I thought you did title insurance. But
there's a thing called adverse possession, where, depending on where you're at, there's a certain time period where you own a property just by like possessing it.
Oh, paying taxes on it.
Well, I mean, it depends on the fact, but typically it's like physical possession.
Like you're inside the house?
Or the land or something, right?
So if you just go sit there long enough, it's yours, like squatter rights.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Exactly.
That's a thing?
But typically it's like 21 years. It could be longer, it could be shorter, just depending on where you're at, right? But here's the thing. So you can do that, but you have to have continuous possession of the property, whatever that means, right? So
like paying the electricity bill for the past 20 years, I was the one paying for it.
I mean, maybe, but like they really like to see like you've been on the property, you've built on the property, you've done something, right? So typically paying bills. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a property lawyer, so I don't know for 100% sure, but they'd like to see something that you've done with the property, right? So, but for that amount of time, like it has to be continuous. So if, it's like year 20 and it's a 21-year statute, if year 20 someone comes along and says, actually,
my grandma gave me this land.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
And then they can just take the land from you. It's crazy.
But if I see an abandoned house and I just go and move in for 21 years, is mine?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, depending on the jurisdiction.
Yeah, but if the house is empty, you're gonna live like in a shithole pretty much.
Well, I mean,
it's gonna be
I go in
bad.
like there says an abandoned house.
So here's the other component, right? There's some elements to it. Part of it has to be that the occupation of the property has to be adverse to the owner, right? So you have to like openly and notoriously occupy the property, which means essentially that the owner, that you're just like in the open occupying this property, clearly visible to the owner of the property.
Well, so what if the owner is not around and you do it?
I mean, that's where it gets a little tricky, but
what if you are renting for 21 years?
Other things like, let's say with a car. Okay, I don't know if it happens the same with the houses, but let's say, Martin left his car behind my house for the past 5 years. I've been trying to get in contact with Martin. He's not showing up. His car has been staying behind my house for the past 5 years, and I want to get rid of this car. I can even get rid of that car, or I can just try to get a title for that car.
Are you saying adverse possession of a car?
Yeah, I can have possession of the car. I can have like fully possession of the car. And I know a way to do it. Like you buy the same thing. It's like you buy a title of insurance for that car, and you go through this process where I have to prove them that I've been trying to get in contact with Martin. I was like, even though they search like, okay, can you put an ad on a newspaper? And if you have showed them proof, like, okay, look, I paid $250. I put an ad on the newspaper. I did some research, about his address, and they did a couple of things. They're like, okay, you did your research. We tried to reach Martin, the one that used to own that car, and we couldn't get in contact with him. So just follow this process. You pay like $250, and then they give you a title of the car. I tell you that because I know that because with this red truck, somebody sold me that red truck.
You stole it?
No, it was like they sold it to me like 2 years ago. Okay, and sometimes when you buy a car, you can. So I just got the title. I had the title here, and they gave me this car for $2,000. And the thing that happened is that sometimes you go and you ask for a duplicate title because you lost your original title. So this person lost the original title and got a duplicate title.
But that takes some time to get.
Well, this happened like when they owned the car. So she asked for the duplicate title, and she gave me, and then she got the duplicate title, and then she finds the original title. So the original title doesn't worth anything now. The one that worth is the duplicate title that they print out whenever she asks for.
That they order.
So she gave me the original title, thinking that this other title is not valid because I found the original one. So we signed. I give her the money. She gives me the original title, and it's been like 2 years since I bought this truck. It's just been sitting here, and I haven't put plates or anything on it. So right now I cannot get in contact with this person.
Why didn't you put plates on it?
Why I didn't put plates on it?
Yeah.
I wasn't using it, so I had my other car.
But if you would have found out then.
If I wouldn't know, I wouldn't know then. I wouldn't know where she's at that moment. Like I wouldn't. But right now, like I was like clueless. I don't have her number.
So you didn't like try and transfer title into your name or anything?
No. In the meantime, no. I just had it like it was notified. I got a notary. Notary.
Yeah. And it was just sitting
under my
there.
name. It was just sitting there.
Gotcha.
So I know that title is mine. Oh, that car was mine because it's under my name and the notary signed it.
Yeah, it was notarized.
It was notarized. So, okay. So, but the title, I didn't know about the title that she got a duplicate title and I was having the original title, but the original title didn't work. So I went through all that process and I was like, okay, this car has been sitting in my house for 2 years. This is the original title. They were like, oh, well, that title is not valid. So in order for you to get title, you got to do this. So the thing was like getting insurance for that title is $250 for the insurance. Then all the process to get a title, like $75 for the title. Then, you got to do the inspection.
So you got insurance after the fact?
Title insurance? No,
Yeah.
I got to do it right there. It's like a whole paperwork they tell you to fill. It's like 5 pages. You just fill all that up. You go to like Allstate. You buy like a $250 insurance for that title, and that's it. That's pretty easy. And you see, like on that way, it doesn't matter. It can be an old car that's been sitting behind your house. Sometimes you can give them the VIN number, and then you're gonna know who was the original owner, just by giving them the VIN number. And sometimes they find it, sometimes they don't find it. Like if they don't find it, then you can go through this process and put like a title on that car.
This is why most people don't, because anybody can go buy a car out of Craigslist and flip it and sell it for more. I mean, it's relatively easy, right? You can buy a car that someone's getting rid of and then turn around and sell it. But this is why people don't do it.
Why?
Because the average person gets turned off by that.
By
Bro, I got
like
turned off.
Something is going to go wrong?
Like, dude, I was selling my car for the fuck of it. And I got turned off because I had to, the way that I had to pay the loan, like I still owe $7,000 on it, and they had to pay them $7,000, and they had to give me $3,000.
And then you gotta wait
it
for
was
the
going to
title.
take 10 days for the title.
Yeah.
Just explaining that to somebody and going through the process, and then I would like tell them like, okay, so I'm gonna put you on the phone with this person, and you're gonna pay the, and then I'm gonna have you sign here that you're gonna give me the other $3,000. And they're like, they'll back out, and it was just such a pain in the ass. It's just
It sounds like you want me to pay for your car, and then you're not gonna give me your car back.
Right, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to sell this car. Like, it's just so fucking hard. So it's like most people don't want to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't want to deal with that shit. I wouldn't buy a car. Like
no, I'm saying
even though if it's a good deal, I'll be like, nah, it's okay. It's too much going on.
Right.
You know?
And just in general, like if you have to go down to the DMV and get an insurance title, and then they have the duplicate title, and this shit like that. Like that's why people go to a dealership and overpay for the fuck of a car, because it's just like, I go and sit down on a desk and they show me, and then I just sign here, and I leave in my car, and now you're paying like $30,000 more, but it's because it just seems, like it just seems unmanageable. It literally seems unmanageable to do it on your own. Sometimes.
You just gotta have patience, man, and like I know, like it depends on your
level of freak out.
Yeah, how you deal with things and things like that. If you like you say, like if you freak out like too easy, then you're not good. You were selling the car, so you were not putting any money. You were not losing any money. You just didn't like dealing with these people saying like, it's too much shit going on, or they bugging up just because of that.
That's how I felt, because I didn't need to sell the car.
Yeah.
And then I'm having this fucking people come. So what happened was we've been in this pandemic. I have 2 cars. My car is just sitting out there. And I have literally driven my car like 3 times since the pandemic. So that's like 6 months I drove it, right? So, and now I'm kind of guessing that the pandemic is going to go for at least till next year. So that's 100,
more than likely.
Yeah, so, that's $100 of insurance for the next 6 months. That's, $600. And I can sell my car for more than what I owe on it. I owe $7,000 on it, and it sells for around $9,000, $10,000.
You were gonna sell it. What's the person that most gave you?
They were gonna give me, all of them were like super happy to give me $9,000. And the other thing is, when they come see my Corolla has the nice rims, and it has, I don't know, I guess they've seen other.
You got all the upgrades from.
And they were like making me feel like my car was really nice, and I'm like,
are you for real? I'm gonna give this guy a thing.
I started liking my car. I'm like, damn. Like, it was, every time it was a guy with a girl, and I don't know what this tells about me, but it was for the girl. And the girl's getting all excited, and they have no poker face. And oh my God, I like that. I like this car. Obviously.
You can use that to your advantage, man.
No, I'm driving a girl car, whatever. But it's a Corolla.
No. Like, drive the price up.
Well, I was, honestly, my goal was to make a little bit of money, get rid of the payment.
You're not going to put $1,000 extra for your girl. Come on, that's what you gotta say.
Like no, and that's the funny thing. If it would have been an easy transaction, that car would have been gone the first time they saw it. It was like excitement, like I like it. They drove it, and every time they come, my house is like 30 minutes away from. Oh shit, the coronavirus. Everybody cover their face.
We got the first sneeze of the night.
Oh God.
We got the first one.
Cancel it all. I'm fanning around.
That's not gonna help you, man.
Anyways, I'm fucking dead.
It's the droplets.
I feel sick already.
My butthole just completely loosened up. Is that a symptom? Wait, what?
You got so
well,
tight.
that's a symptom tonight.
All right. Anyways, every time they came, it was a pain in the ass because they want to drive it and they want to get on the highway. So it's a 45-minute situation, and I'm just sitting there with this fucking random people wearing a mask. And they're loving the car, and then it gets to the point like, okay, so here's how it's gonna go down. Ready? I bought the car from Allstate, and now you gotta call Allstate on the phone. They don't have an actual office to walk in.
Allstate, so like gives you
no, it's State Farm. Yeah, State Farm. They do auto loans, and
I thought that, yeah, okay. That
well, what happened is I bought it from the dealership. I'm driving home from the dealership. And the fucking Allstate guy tells me I could give you a better deal, better percentage, and gap insurance included for free. Yeah, Jake, fucking in his khakis, he calls me. I'm like, Jake, what the fuck? So I changed it. By the way, that was an uncomfortable situation to go to the finance guy at the dealership, which I fucking hate. The next day that you buy your car, and tell him, hey, I'm transferring my loan to State Farm.
Why? Why are you hating?
Because they fucking hate it. They make you feel like because they lose commission as a chargeback.
They don't get commissions on it.
So the finance people are so pissed.
You go, Stacy. You go.
No, I went. I faced the guy, and the guy was so mad. I was like, bro, I work in sales. I understand you're mad, but I'm sorry, bro. They're offering me
Well,
this.
how much was the commission?
I don't know how much he gets paid, but he like didn't get it.
He didn't get the commission.
No, it's like you sold, but if you get it,
I'll be like, if I'm at the sale car, it's like, hey, look, bro, you sold the car, you bought the car. If you want a deal, man, you go, we'll stay, give me my money, and that's it, man. What do you want me to do? Get out of here, man. You bought the car yesterday, man. Get out.
No,
what
no,
what
no.
else you want from me, man?
well, that's how he was. He didn't want to deal with me, but he had to. There was no offer. But anyways,
Why he has to? Well, you signed the
'Cause-
paper. The car was yours.
yeah, and
already.
I'm not getting rid of it. I'm transferring the payment. They can hold you hostage to their loan. Basically, the Allstate or State Farm is going to pay that loan, and then I'm going to do it with them. So I'm asking to pay it off.
So I don't get it. Why they don't get? It was the same price, right?
Yeah, but they get paid on the interest of me paying that car over time.
Okay.
So if I'm canceling the next day, they don't. It's not good for them.
So he probably was gonna get like $50 a month just for that car.
He was gonna
$25.
get probably a percentage, but normally the way it works in sales is if they don't keep the loan for more than 6 months, then you get a chargeback.
Oh damn!
Verizon, it was a year, right?
Yeah, a year or something like that. Yeah, so.
Okay. So they
Depends
gotta
on
be-
where you work for, but I mean, obviously, the very next day was not long enough. He was gonna get a chargeback, and the finance people in the fucking dealership are the slimiest motherfuckers you ever meet in your life. They put you in a room, and they always try to. They get more if they get you a warranty or whatever. Anyways, I know
the
you've
more-
never done
The more
that.
they sell, the more they get, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like a slimy situation. Like you work with the salesman.
I wish I was trying to sell, man.
No, you work with the salesperson the whole time.
Because
And
you were trained, right, to sell, so you kind of know how the whole situation is.
Yeah,
by
but
working at Verizon, so you kind
I
of know
know.
how to push people and things like that.
Well, I know what. Yeah, I've received plenty of sales training at this point in my life, but it doesn't make it any easier as a buyer
No.
because it makes it that you're too aware and then too much
Oh, okay.
Well,
a little
You know everything's
empathy
going-
and a little bit of like. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it doesn't make it any
It
easier.
helps you with the initial sale, right? But not with the finance.
So, like, the way it works in a dealership is you go to the sales guy, you get the car, they tell you a price, and then you go in this other room with the finance guy that is typically going to try to get you on some sort of warranty or some bullshit, some interest or something like that. But anyways, I don't even know what I was fucking talking about.
You didn't have
But it was...
You both went all the
What?
way up to your throat because you were scared of talking to the car.
No, I went and got it. I was driving out the parking lot. The fucking Allstate guy said, "Hey, we can give you a better percentage."
Hey man, I got something to tell you.
Nah, I already called him. Nah, it wasn't like that. But it wasn't fun.
I know. It's
It was not fun. It's so awkward. I was like, bro, I'm sorry. And like, they always try to make it harder. Like, then you have to drive down here and you have to sign. I was like, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. And then you go, and then it's so awkward. He's busy. He's like, bro. And I even told him like, I get it, bro. It was an older guy too, and he was just like, kind of like quiet. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. Like fucking signing all hard. I remember it was awkward as fuck, and I was like, all right, but.
So
Allstate was no
the-
gap insurance and lower interest.
So you remember that BMW I bought back in 2014? I think
Oh yeah,
it was?
the really nice one you had.
Yeah. So that was like 2014. I flew out to Ohio to buy this thing, right?
What kind of car?
This thing was like a fucking Batmobile, man. That's when Tucci was making ridiculous money at Verizon. He just went on the computer I have right now, Elias.
Yeah.
That's a product of him having so much money then that he bought the best of the best of the best that there was in 2013. Computer parts normally decay pretty quickly, right?
Okay.
But he was single, not having any debt, just right out of college, making a boatload of money.
I wasn't single at the time.
Oh no, you were yeah. But he was making a boatload, so he bought a fucking the nicest BMW you can think of, and then a fucking supercomputer that I'm now ripping the benefits from.
So I looked.
So how do you got the computer?
He fucking put a water coolant in it. Water coolant, because, you know, the regular coolant is not enough. And it broke.
Okay.
And he just had it laying there. And I went through a stage where, like, I was playing a lot of Xbox. And I was like, yo, what are you doing with that computer? And I caught him at the right time. He said, give me $500 for it. And I remember him telling me he spent, like, almost $4,000 on that computer. So I was like, oh, hell yeah. But, I mean, obviously, the components decay very quickly.
Trying to charge me for
Yeah,
the
he's
computer
gonna
now,
fuck.
okay?
I want to get some fucking. I'm gonna get a fucking invoice.
Of course, he fucking DK, man. They DK.
Yeah, they DK the
I want to get
depreciation.
this clear, man. They DK. Oh, hold on. Did you hear me right? They DK. Computer
Let it be on the
components.
record. Let it be on the record. They DK. This shit is whack.
You got a deal.
I got a hell of a deal, right? But it was at the time it was technically broken. Okay, I bought a broken computer for $500.
It still worked. The graphics card
It
was burnt.
There has been some terrible accident with some water cooling.
No, there was no accident with the water cooling. It was a graphics card that just burned out.
But
that was it.
because the water
So you got
cooling
a
wasn't
graphics
cooling.
card on it?
I bought a new water. I bought a new CPU cooler and a new graphics card, and I've been using it ever since. It's been the best purchase of my life. I'm never giving it back. I love that computer. But anyways, at the time he bought a Batmobile too. So what happened with the Batmobile?
Dude, so I looked all over the country for one just like it.
What type of what's the series?
It was a 335 IS.
Okay, is that the one we kind of were looking? You told me like you searched for this car, and I was like, I looking for months, man, at the Copar website, and I was like, man, that car's not coming up, man.
Yeah, it's rare. It's very rare. So like I looked everywhere for. It was a black on black. I wanted a black on black, black exterior, black interior. And I found one in Ohio like a month or two later after I started looking. So I flew out to Ohio. And I didn't even haggle. Like, I was in sales at the time. Like, I knew I could probably reduce the price. But, you know, I didn't want to, like, reduce the guy's commission. So I was like, I'll take it for whatever you're asking.
Really, you're just got that. You know, he thought he was the Great Gatsby.
Dude, I knew this guy had to like feed his children, his wife.
I'm telling you, being a salesperson is not good when you buy because you feel some sort of empathy, and that fucks you up because you know how they get paid.
It didn't fuck you up enough to not change the loan, though.
Well, I try to tell him. I was telling him like, you know, like I even said like, is there anything I can do so that you don't get the charge back? And he was just like,
you give him like a good tip, like $100 tip.
No, hell no, fuck that. Anyways, continue your story.
Anyway, so they bring me into the finance room. And like, this is my first experience buying a car. So just like you,
it's horrible.
I had no idea.
The finance room is a horrible place to be. I fucking hate it.
And like, I had flown in that morning, like woke up at like 3 a.m. to get there early and so I could drive back. And like, it was just, I was not ready for the conversation that they wanted to have.
Yo, Elias is going to buy a car like this. And he's gonna, because you know he's never bought a car like this, and he's gonna go into that finance room, and after this story, he's gonna just like fucking hit somebody right in the face. Immediately as he walks in, he's gonna be like, "Fuck you, bitch! I'm not paying anything." Anyways, continue.
Well, you know, I get in there and like I'm paying full price, so I'm like, I'm good. Like
they don't like that.
They don't have to like sell me on anything because I'm already buying at full price. You know,
they don't like that shit. Though.
No, they don't. So like I'm in there and like, you know, I've already been pre-approved for the interest rate or whatever. So I just figured we're like going to sign some documents and we're done, you know. Well, this dude proceeds for like 45 minutes to try and sell me on like another warranty when I'm buying it certified pre-owned, which it already has like an extended warranty on it. Like I don't need another.
You want to get a warranty on the leather seats? We can get you new leather seats.
Dude, it's exactly that. No, you're right. Like you try to sell me on a warranty for the tires, like the wheels, everything. And it's like, oh my God, like I don't need hazard insurance. I already have that. I don't need
That's what they get paid on. And my very first car that I bought, I had very okay credit because I've only had my social for a year. Mm-hmm. And the guy, the finance guy was like, hey, I got you approved for this car, but you're going to have to buy this warranty to get this rate. Which I found out later was actually illegal to do. But that's the level of fucking pressure they put on you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I bought a car. I did buy a car on payments. I bought it with Lucas. It was a Mercedes. It was like, I don't know, like $12,000 car. And I was like, Lucas, he's like, no, we gotta get it. Let's get a nice car. I was like, okay, let's go. So we got approved. It was like $12,000 percent. No, $12,000 per. No, $12,000. It was a $12,000 car, and I was paying, I think 18% of the interest.
God.
Because I didn't have any credit. I didn't have anything. I was like, okay, that's fine. Man, the car, after the year, the car broke. The transmission was, bad.
You talking about that Mercedes you bought back in the day?
No. That was a $3,500 car I bought cash. Like the first car I had, that was my first car. No, another one.
Oh, okay.
And so the transmission broke. They didn't want to be responsible for anything. So I was like, okay, just here's all the keys, like, I don't want this car back. I was like, oh, you're going to screw your credit. I don't give a shit about my credit. I don't care, man. Here's the car back. That car doesn't work. It's not good. Here's back.
You return that shit.
I returned it. I was like, Luca was in Argentina. I was like, hey, Luca, the car is not fucking working. And it's like, we're paying like $400 a month. And it's like, and you're not even here to pay half of it, man. I was like, I'm just going to return it, man. I hate making payments. And I just want to return it. And then they called me. I was like, okay, we auctioned that car and you own us $1,000. What do you mean I own you $1,000? I returned the car. There you go. I got a loan from the car. You got the car back, okay?
Seems like a fair trade.
So they were like, you own $1,000. It was like $1,500. You own $1,500 because we auctioned the car and the car didn't, it didn't sell for how much you end up owning on the car. So it's, I don't know, $1,500 less than how much is supposed to cover. I was like, you should have freaking called me because I wouldn't accept the offer that they were giving for the car. Then let me sell the car for you. Like, so look, don't fucking call me ever again because I'm not gonna pay those $1,500. I give you the car back, then you sell my car. I don't know why you're calling me to sell my car for something I didn't like. You didn't ask me. You should have asked me if I want to sell that car for $1,500. That I own on the car. Like, you crazy? This was the financing people. I was like, well, that's not how it works. You give the car back. And I was like, look, man, I don't care. Forget that I'm going to pay those $1,500. I return the car. Don't freaking call me anymore. They didn't, they called me a couple more times. And I was like, look, man, I'm like, there is no way, unless you take me to court, that I'm going to pay you those $1,500. So, I've been paying 18% for the past 2 years, man, or like for the past year, interest on that car. So get it out of there. You know?
When you returned it, how did you do it? You just showed up?
I just went with the key. They have the title anyways. I don't get the title.
So you went to the dealership, you bought it, and you just like, here's the key, and you get the
just here's the car.
That's crazy. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, that's how you do it if you don't give a shit. Look, man, here's the car back. You do whatever you want with it. It's your car. They still own the car. Like, they never give you the title. You don't have the title for your car.
I don't.
So you don't own it.
That was the issue. No, you don't own it until you pay it off, and then they send you the title.
Like, there you go. Okay, I don't own it.
Yeah, nobody owns anything. Like, I don't have probably the deed for the house either. I'm not really sure how that works. Not until you pay it off, right?
Well, it just shows in the city that you're the owner.
You have the deed.
Yeah. Like if you go to Wake County, it shows you're the owner.
Oh, okay, good.
But then, if you want to do something with the house, then it has a lien attached to it.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, if you always, you can always tell them to lean on these nuts. You know what I'm saying? And then...
lean back.
You can lean on these tiny little balls.
Well, we already knew that about you.
Yeah, man, that was the experience I went through when I bought a car.
Yeah, who buys a fucking Mercedes, man? BMW, hello.
No.
That's
Man,
what you want. Hello.
I'm selling my Mercedes right here, right?
325.
335.
325 Ti.
IS.
Oh. TX. 5500.
So you end up driving with that car back here? Is that the car you're driving now?
No. I sold it before I went to law school.
Oh, you sold it?
Mm-hmm. It was
Do you get your money back on it?
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Good.
It was a 335 ISO.
So it was a good deal when you bought it then. And you bought it full price and you got your money back. So it was a good deal.
Unless you're not listening. It was a 335 ISO X35278. What do you understand about that? That fucking car is good deal no matter what you do with it.
Are you saying that I'd sell it for how much I bought it for?
Yeah.
No.
I
did not. But I bought it certified pre-owned. So it was like, it was a 2011 and I bought it in, 2014.
It's a i3520 BMW 27500. You don't understand.
So like, it was still not at the height of its depreciation.
35 TO. Sorry.
But I was able to sell it for somewhat of a profit.
Okay.
So like, or like at the time that I sold it. So like, I was not underwater, you know.
Okay.
And then he bought a Mazda 8. What the fuck was
I
it?
bought a Mazda Protege.
Oh, Protege. Never
Yeah,
mind.
Protege 5.
That was actually a really good fucking car.
It was a great car, man.
Yeah.
There was nothing that happened with that car.
That car is just solid, dude. Mazda, the Japanese got it down, man. I would never, ever buy a BMW.
I got a 5-speed.
I don't have good experience with BMWs either, man.
No, man. That shit,
So,
everything's expensive.
Here's
Fuck
the
that.
thing with BMWs.
Oil leaks,
here's the
man.
thing. Here's the
Do
thing.
you have oil leaks?
Oh, absolutely. But
Oil
here's
leaks all the time, man. Freaking oil leaks, man.
here's the
You
thing.
want a leaky, oily car? Get yourself a BMW.
There are no smoother engines that provide as much power as BMW, right? But there are problems. There's oil leaks. There's coolant leaks.
Well, that's not good.
Oil leaks.
Coolant, yeah. So like, but everything that happens in those engines, you can pretty much fix yourself.
No.
Absolutely, I did.
Yeah, there's nothing easier to work than German engineering. You know, it's pretty much an IKEA furniture.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up, man.
It is. I'm serious.
You literally have to take him to special garages to get him done. You have to take it to European garages to get him fixed.
No. Think about it. German engineering is very deliberative, right? It's very organized. It makes sense.
You're gonna sit here and tell me I don't know anything about cars. You're gonna like buy a BMW because it's easy to work on. Is what you're saying.
It is easy to work on.
I say
if you have the right tools.
If you buy a Chevrolet,
It doesn't matter the tools.
You
The
do.
tools are the same. Unless you get to the newer cars, right? But like if you're talking about early 2000s, late 2000s, the tools are the same. It's the technology and the engines that people don't really know much about, right? So like the Vanos and BMWs, right? The variable camshafts, like
I
valve
think you're
timing.
biased because you've done so much research about BMWs that you think that it's
You
easier
feel
to work on.
comfortable. You feel
But
comfortable.
I think that if we were going to compare how easy it is to work on a Chevy S10 versus a BMW M whatever the fuck,
Well, the thing
I
is-
guarantee you if I'm going to change the starter on the Chevy, it's probably easier than on the BMW.
because of the space. Because you
Yeah,
think
I mean,
about
it's
the car
just-
is like all little, so you have to probably move
'cause
more parts
Yeah.
around.
There's not a
That's
whole
the
bunch
only
of
problem.
shit or, like, I feel
So-
like it wouldn't be the same.
Well, I know we talked about this back in last year, but I changed the clutch on my car, right? I changed the starter. Like part of that was I changed the starter. I changed all of the front suspension. I did the oil pan gasket. I did the valve cover
but
gasket.
that doesn't mean that it's easy. You probably just got so deep into it that you became some sort of like BMW certified mechanic.
Dude, I'm a lawyer. I am not a mechanic. So if I can do it, anybody can do this.
The problem is like when you fuck up like a screw. Oh my god, when you fuck, it's like you don't using the right screw, and you're like you mess up the screw, and then you got like a screw that you're working on, and you're trying to get it loose, and that screw is like super tight, like crap. Like that is a problem. Did that didn't happen to you while you were working on?
So yeah, I had to drop the exhaust. So like the muffler.
Okay, so that
all of
heat ties
Oh,
those
man.
screw up so much that I feel like they're well together. Like they're well with the whatever metal they touch.
Yeah. So I had to buy an air compressor to like
Heat it up.
have the power to
Air
get these
compressor.
bolts
okay,
off.
okay.
I thought you had that to shove air up your ass.
Dude, it's a dual purpose, man. But
No, the other thing is like you can actually like get a torch and you heat it up this you're trying to like it's,
yeah, you
every
can,
time I get a car, man, I start working on them. I was like, this is the last time I'm doing this shit. I'm still working on mine. This is the last time I'm fixing a freaking car. But then I'm like,
I
doing
enjoy
it
it.
again.
I enjoy it. I really do. I think it's so interesting to see how they like mapped out how everything goes into these cars, and like it just makes sense to me.
No.
But
the one thing is like changing one little thing, and the other thing is like every time I get it, like the Mercedes used to like so much freaking work. It was like the radiator, the fan. You know the.
Now, what you're talking about is whether it makes like sense. Where does it make sense? Does it make financial sense to like actually do this shit? For me, absolutely not. It made no sense to do all the repairs that I did to my car because I bought it for $2,000, right? But I've spent way more in just parts fixing it.
But no, here's the thing: like once you have it running, would it be worth more than that?
Exactly. I still haven't spent like more than what like a reliable car.
Yeah, if you go buy a Toyota Corolla S, one of the most reliable cars on the road.
Yeah,
and you're gonna spend $4,000.
I mean, that's a 230 horsepower engine. I would not be able to find that in a Toyota today.
What's that? Is that a lot?
It's not a lot. It's not like it's not. I would say it's enough. It's not a lot, right? So like my 335 IS was 330 horsepower.
How many horsepower do you think my Toyota Corolla has?
About 200, I would say.
And yours has what? 280?
230.
So 30 horses more.
A little bit more probably because I have the Dynon computer software and the cold air intake, all that.
Interesting.
That's another reason I bought that car because it has all these Dynon upgrades to it. So like the...
I bet that means something. I don't know what that means. So, Dynon is good, huh? I bet my Corolla has less horsepower than 200.
It might be. I don't know.
I think it's
Is it a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder?
4. And it's a belt transmission. Continuing variable transmission.
Oh, it's a CVT.
Yep. So it's probably
like 180, like 180, 170.
But here's the thing, dude. I'm glad, and you call me on it. I used to say the same thing about video games in the past, and now I'm addicted to video games. But I have not gotten bit by the car thing. As long as my car can take me from here to there, I'm good, bro.
You don't care what you drive.
I don't give a fuck. And in this car, gets up to like fucking 85 miles an hour. I'm sure I can drive that car at 80 miles an hour. I never had that.
But here's the thing: it's not about the speed; it's about the stability.
That car is what I grew up driving a Honda Civic that shook like crazy, and then I had a Chevy S10 with no AC for the longest fucking time. I'm talking about like 10 fucking years. When I drive like a car like this, I feel like I'm in a spaceship. It feels so smooth. Like the truck and what I have right now is like... It
probably doesn't have the noise cancellation or like the insulation that like a Camry or whatever would have right there.
Mine?
So like when you get up to 80 miles an hour...
It feels amazing.
Does it... the sound, the road noise...
I think it's all about expectation. The fact that my wheel isn't shaking, it's a plus for me.
Oh, okay.
Like when I used to drive the S10, like if I got to 70, my wheel was shaking. Like it was like, and then I had that Civic that was like a 92. Actually, I think I went and bought it.
Was that the blue one?
No, that was actually really nice. Yeah, the blue one was really nice. I had a Civic 97 that was green, no power steering or nothing. Huh?
I thought it was blue.
No, but before that one. I'm saying like the blue Honda Civic that I had, that was that's the car that I had before this one. Mm-hmm. That was the first car that I ever got a car payment on, and that was really nice. The Civic was amazing, and this one's better than the Civic, so I love this car. I mean, it feels like a spaceship. I'm saying like for me to like, don't get me wrong. I drove when I went to Miami. They gave me a rental and it was a Mustang. And I get it, like if you want to pass a car, it just like kind of goes really quickly.
A little different, but I mean, I give, yeah.
I mean, I haven't driven that many. I don't think I've ever driven a BMW.
Well, do me a favor, go to their dealership, right? Drive. Well, ask.
Do I really want that shit?
Ask to test drive like an M3 or an M5, right?
Nah, dude.
Just ask. That's all you have to do.
Why?
Because you're not spending anything. Why wouldn't you do it?
Unless you want to go drive a M20 tomorrow.
Go. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't know if I want to do it, man. Because then I feel bad about the car I'm driving.
I know, dude. I don't want that shit. Then I'm something to look up. No, I'm good, man. I'd rather spend my money on a computer.
Well, I mean, you asked me, like, why do you buy that?
No, I'm sure. But why did you go test? Is that what happened? You went and test drove a BMW? idiot.
No, but I think if I got to pick one, like I had two BMWs. It was like a, I don't know, 325i. It was a convertible hardtop. 2012 probably. And the only thing I didn't like it because it was giving me oil leaks. Okay. And
It's
and
a
I
BMW.
think
It's
those
gonna
are,
leak oil. I mean, that's.
and then what was the other one I had? It was
It always leaks oil?
125i, a super little car.
I've not had a BMW that has not leaked oil.
Even the very nice one you had?
Well, yeah. I mean, for that one though, I was still under warranty, so I could get any oil leaks fixed.
But it was leaking or no?
When I bought it, the transmission was leaking,
Oh
so
my
I had to get that fixed. But you can fix most of that shit by yourself easy.
Yeah, but just buy a new gasket, open it up, put it together, tight it, and that's it.
Fuck that
But
shit.
that's a process, right?
I'm not doing any of that.
But okay, so that one
Just
was
open the
leaking.
engine up, put another gasket. No big deal. You just tighten right back up. Just get a quick jack in and out. You'll be good to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
Yeah, that was the. So that I have like two, and they both had the same problem. I was like, okay, I'm not getting. And then I got the Audi, the black Audi, and then I had like a Audi A5, A4.
Audis are beautiful cars, but the engines are not as reliable as BMW.
You think so?
Mm.
Because they didn't have any oil leak. I had 3 Audis, none of them had oil leaks.
They don't have the same problems. So the oil leaks are not the same. But as far as the pistons, the rods, the camshafts, like the internal parts,
Okay.
they're not as robust, as durable as.
Elias, you don't understand that oil leak is like an artistic thing. It moisturizes the environment. You want that shit. You know that tells you reliability.
It's all about lubrication.
Lubrication reliability long term. You don't want a Audi engine that doesn't leak oil. That shit, you can't trust that shit. The pistons are all fucked up. You don't want that. You want the nice pistons that leak oil because it's just like a fountain.
It may be a little messy, but it'll get you there. Okay.
I think you're biased as fuck for the BMW. I'm never buying a BMW.
So I got 3 Audis and none of them had like problems. and I fixed them myself, man. And I don't even do oil change on my cars till before I sell them. You know, it's like a year. So don't even buy a car from me, okay?
I am not gonna buy a car.
Dude, I remember talking to your brother in high school, and I'm like, you gotta change the oil every 3,000 miles, and it's like, nah, fuck, no, I change the oil and never, dude, you never do that. I remember, like, bro,
on my truck, I probably do it every 10,000 miles, man.
oh my
Or
god,
whenever I feel like, okay, shit, it's been a while, I gotta do it. That's what but the cars, they don't last me long. Like, I own them for 1 year, and then I just let them go, you know?
let the other guy worry about it.
Well, not let the other guy worry about it. It's like, you know, it's your car now. You know, you're buying what you
They don't
what you
ever
see, like. But yeah, it's very hard for me to take good care of the car. It's just because, like, I feel like I'm in a rush, you know? It's like going from one place to another. It's like, okay, I got some time now. Okay, I got to do an oil change. I stop very quick. But then it's like, now I got to do it, like, I still have some. I can still go. I can add 1,000 more miles. 1,000 more miles. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean-
or if I do a long trip, like, let's say I've been going to, like, with that truck, I went all the way to Florida, Key West. That was a long trip.
And then you change the oil.
And then when I came back, I was like, okay, I'm gonna change the oil.
But it's the same amount of miles that you would have written eventually.
Man, okay, talking about miles. How many miles you think there are around the globe? I don't know if you know this, but let's say we're standing here on Steakhouse Studio. Don't look it up. I want you to come, say this number out of your mind. So you're standing here on, what is this?
Steakhouse Studio.
Steakhouse. So you're just gonna start walking in a straight line,
Until
and
you
you're
come
gonna
back.
come out to the other line. How many miles do you think you're gonna walk? Say a
All right.
number out of your head.
Between here and
You're gonna go.
I'm gonna do a couple. So between here and New York, which is almost across the continent, there's like
across the continent.
there's 600 miles, right? So 600 miles between here and New York. That would tell me that the entire length of the United States is somewhere around 1,200 miles, maybe 1,500 miles. So that's one United States. And then how many United States it would be like?
How many?
Like it would be like if this is
No. How many miles?
2, 3. I don't know what I'm doing. 4 or 5. Say 6,000 miles.
6,000 miles. 6,000 miles all the way around the globe.
Yeah.
All the way around the globe. 6,000 miles.
So I guess not.
I've been asking this question like to
So like how long it would?
everybody.
How many miles is it if you're standing here and you go completely around the world and come back to the same spot? I said 6,000.
You know, I used to know the answer to this. I think it's 8,000.
8,000.
What is it?
Man, I've been asking people there like they were like, I don't know, 150,000 miles.
150,000?
No, it's not 150,000. But it's 24,900 and something.
24,000?
24,000. So it's like double. Around the globe, like circumference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's 24,000.
24,000. Most of the people is like, I don't know. Like I asked Patricia, she's like, I don't know, 1.5 million, 8 million. I'm like, okay. Do you know how much a mile? Like,
You know what shocked me to know? That the Earth is moving at 800 miles per hour right now. 800 miles per hour, you're just fucking moving across the fucking space.
Well, it's not just the Earth. We are moving.
Yeah, we're moving at 100 miles an hour right now, sitting here. So, like, if something were to ever stop us, we would just fucking die immediately. Like, if we were to hit something, we would hit about 800 miles an hour.
we hit the wall. Oh shit, this is the end.
Yeah, dude, like, that's insane to think. 800 miles an hour, that's fucking fast as balls, dude.
I know.
We're orbiting the sun, and the sun is orbiting the Milky Way galaxy, right? So that's where that comes from, is that orb.
Yeah, because it takes 24 hours to go around, but you're going around at the same time. It takes 36 days to go all around the freaking sun.
Yeah, but then the sun itself is moving on the galaxy.
So it's like,
what the fuck, man?
going somewhere.
I just can't wait to be visited by aliens so they explain everything to us.
Man, would it be cool to get, taken by aliens and to go to a different planet?
I don't want to be
Do
taken.
you fantasize about that?
I would like to.
Yeah.
What is it?
What do you want them to do to you?
No, I don't want them to do nothing. Just show me around. Just show me around the galaxy.
I don't want to be personally be taken by an alien. I want the aliens to come in and talk.
All the way in.
Anally. What is it? First thing I'm going to ask him is, what's up with all the anal probing? Why? Second,
You're curious.
I'm curious. Why not more?
Man, this is.
Why such a low level?
I want him to come in and
deep
and show us like how to travel between there's a lot of evidence that it's gonna happen soon, bro. There's definitely aliens.
Evidence?
But the thing is,
you don't know. I'll show you later. There's aliens,
Joe
bro. They're
Rogan.
around. There's definitely aliens. Oh, I'm gonna show you. There's definitely aliens.
I'm gonna show you some podcasts about aliens.
By the way, Joe Rogan has a new Spotify subscription or whatever. So
yeah, everybody tune in. No, dude, there's definitely aliens, and they definitely have technology that is beyond to what we understand.
Says what?
You have to listen. I have to show you some pamphlets.
Oh, is that something? Do you believe in aliens or not? Do you believe there are aliens out there or not?
I think
Tucci is a fucking alien, and that's why he tries to cover it up.
I am bald. This is not normal.
I think
I do think it would be. I think it's impossible that there's not another intelligent life
out there. Okay.
I think
that's a question.
Given all of the billions of stars and
there's
solar systems, there has to be life out there.
Yeah,
so
at least like a fucking worm moving on somewhere, something.
Yeah, and whether it's intelligent or not, I don't know. But there has to be life. I think other life.
I think that there is. I think that they are probably ahead of us, and they're observing us, and they've been in Earth, and that is the reason I hold on to that is because it's the only possibility that I see in my lifetime to be able to move into an interplanetary situation. Don't touch my penis.
Yeah. But we're doing a space force, I think. Isn't the United States?
It doesn't mean anything. Dude. Fucking nut job.
Yeah,
we made it. We made it a whole podcast not talking about Donald Trump. That's good. By the way, me and Tucci are thinking about starting a political-oriented podcast. So be ready for that. It's coming soon. That one takes. We actually have to do preparation for that, so that's gonna suck. Elias, you want to be on that one too?
Hell no, man. I don't know shit about political stuff. I would like to, man. I would like to, so I can learn something,
Hell no, I don't want to do it. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah,
so I can learn something. Like you learn by listening, by doing your research.
So what do you think
so
about
why not
Kamala Harris?
I never heard of her before, but I am excited.
Excited about what?
Kamala Harris.
Okay.
That might be. I think we should end this podcast because we're an hour and 15 minutes in. And we said
that was abrupt.
No, I'm just saying I don't want to
think about Kamala Harris. I think we should end this podcast.
No. The reason I say this is because I don't want to get into. Well, we can. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying. Do we really want to get into a conversation about Kamala Harris when we're already an hour and 15 minutes?
We can go ahead and end it. Let's do that.
We can start our politically inclined podcast. You know what? Let's do that.
Who is this
Let's
lady?
do a 30-minute podcast right after this one on Kamala
We're talking
Harris.
about political stuff?
And that's going to be for the first episode of Political Podcast. We're just going to wing it. It's going to be a soft core.
Apocalypse.
All right, guys. On that note, let's end this Smart Stupid Stuff podcast. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.